play some New York Jamaican saxophones now.
Okay. Alright.
Kind of smooth, man.
I'm trying to do my little cheesy elevator music too. You know, I'm trying to be versatile with the music. When Mars got out.
In the mornings, like a graphic Marsalis.
Mom must have gave you a kiss before you started playing on.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Nah, I love you, definitely.
Love you, babe.
Love you too, man.
Man, guess who we with, man, today, y'all? I think I'm tripping. Who's on? Like, man, it's Dysheen. Yeah. I got Dysheen Davis, man. He just got back from the NYC Fashion Week photographer. Yeah, he's a photographer right here, man. What's going on, Dysheen?
Man, yes, sir, man.
What's up, T, man? How you doing, bro?
I'm good.
Yes.
It's good to have him in the building, man. Like this guy right here, man. He's done a lot of things. He's done a lot of big things, dude. You told me he's filmed such and such, such and such, which I'm not gonna find out until we get ready to drop part 1. So stay tuned because
we're gonna be back. How come y'all bro? I'm ass on 3, 2, 1.
Oh no!
I was wrong. Yeah, you know what time it is. It's time for you to tune in to the Corner Pocket Podcast. That's right, DCP. You got one man repping the home state Buckeyes. You got one man repping the Michigan Wolverines. No matter which one repping which. DCP. Yeah. What up, Sheen? Yes, sir.
What's up, bro?
Yes, sir,
man. Also, leader, execution, grind, perseverance, and confidence. This man possesses all of those. Y'all gonna find out more about that. But D, what's up, man? I'm feeling the beat.
Man, oh yeah, this I can't talk. Another launch pad I made, man, on the phone, man.
Okay.
I feel this beat because I made it for myself, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? You sort of feel it, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you know, so when I was making it in my head, I was sort of freestyling. I got a little song in this, man. I like to spit real quick, man. This is something I made for all the haters, man. Like, they be in the studio making the beats. I be on the phone making the beats. A big difference, man.
I got your hook.
You know I murdered this beat. I made it from the phone, so no need to complete. Yeah, I murdered this beat. I made it from the phone. Yeah, I know it sounds sweet. Yeah, I made it from the phone. I murdered this beat, man. Leave me alone. Hey, I made this beat. I made it from the phone, so no need to compete. Yeah, it's me. Nice. Yeah, I know it sounds nice. I made it from my phone, man. Yeah, I got it right. You was like, wow, man, that's the studio. I said, nah, dog, it's on my phone. Leave me smooth alone, dog. I'm a beast maker from my phone, dog. So please don't shake it. And please give me a thank you. When you hear the sound, you can make it go hard, man. You completely know, dog, pound like Browns. Yeah, the Bengals too. I rap on high, yo, what I do is still go blue. Yeah, and I'm so sick. I'm doing real hard because I ripped that page in the book. I'ma go hard because I got y'all shook. I tell them harder way crossover like, I don't know. Oh, I know it's yeah, I heard this beat. I made it from my phone because it's so complete. Hey, I heard this beat. I made it from my phone, man, no need to compete.
Hey, chilling in the shade. This a beat, nice day. Hey, we chilling in the shade. My man, beat, nice beat, this what he made. Hey. OHIO. No go blue, hit the dough. Oh, you beat us 2 years straight. Oops, ain't nothing I can say for say. Chillin' in the horseshoe, big key. Chillin' on the mic in the middle, big sheet. Coming with the camera, reppin' NY. New York, not. We chillin'. Hey, I'm out.
Man, she got to say shit.
You gonna say something?
I gotta say, so stay tuned. Relax.
Hey man, welcome to another moment of
DCP, the 1 o'clock, people want to go off, man. You know what? I heard this beat. I'm laying this on the phone, so no need to get beat. Hey, I heard this beat. I'm laying this on the phone, man. I know it sounds sweet. Hey. No, hey. I got tons of dog. Look in my face. Hey, I heard this beat. I made this on the phone. No need to get beat. Chill.
just chill. Just chill. We ain't ill, just chill. We ain't ill. Just chill. Just chill.
Hey, DCP, that's what man. We out here.
In the building, man. Please hit that like button, hit that share button, hit the subscribe bell so you know when everything's dropping. We actually just dropped something just right
That's
now.
right, that's a new song right there, man. I heard this beat, man. Like,
And it's-
what is it? You know what I'm saying? We about to be viral.
He said, I killed this beat out my phone. It is complete.
I heard this beat. I made it from my phone. No need to compete.
No need to
I made it from
compete.
my phone. So stop just saying, man, that studio, oh, it's from my phone. No need to compete. Chill.
Oh!
Yeah, I'm firing shots.
Jeez, man. He fired shots with no gun.
Yeah,
Firing shots. Man, we are here in the building.
I'm playing. It's like, I like y'all.
Y'all know this is unscripted. It's never scripted. It's impromptu, man. I don't know what he gonna say, what he gonna do. Y'all watch the video. This man has free reign. I feel bad for our guests when they come on here because they have no clue what's gonna happen. I don't have a clue what's gonna happen. Hey, did you like the new ambiance of the new fountain?
Yeah, you know what I'm
that we
saying?
had
Like, when I came in, I seen the feng shui.
Feng shui.
Yeah, that's like feng shui, like I said.
Feng
Feng
shui.
shui. And I felt good about the feng shui.
We
man.
beach once we.
You know what I mean? Like, he's a great guy, cause he know, like, I gotta make sure I keep nice. Sometimes I'm like cool, kind of collected. I don't know, I heard he wanted to get. He's like, man, I know, he told me about the guests and everything, the guests know him. But I be feeling bad, cause even though he knows the guests, something crazy always happens. So, he been doing the feng shui, swingle bingle, and it feels good right now. So thanks for making the feng shui swingle bingle.
You know what played a part in that though? It's because my life was transformed and changed by Ricky.
The Ricky, man, from the go.
Yeah, man.
Did you see that, man?
Hey, bro, the gray rubber band on your head, that took me, bro. I was, and then you had the bed skirt as your robe.
That was a month, man.
Oh, yeah, the month. What was your Ricky name? What made you get into that? How did you enter
It
into
was
that?
Musa the first key. That's right. Yeah, that's what his name was. That's right. Yeah. And so when we did the Ricky, I, you know, oh, man, see, listen, man, you gonna find out about me, man. You gonna find out.
Yeah, I don't know what that meant. I've never heard of that. So you ever heard that name?
No. If you want to say one time, I'm my money a day. That's to move. I ain't thinking about it. You see what I did there?
You trying to get him to try to hit
That's what I'm saying.
But shout out to Nicole and thank you for coming on, man. But we have another guest today that is going to bless our talk, man. We were talking a little bit earlier off camera, man. This man is a gem.
Yeah.
And I can't wait. I'm throw you the alley-oop, man. Do what you do, girl.
I got it this time. I was awake, man. Man, so you know, so like I said, man, like Columbus is very interesting. It's a lot of interesting people that you know and stuff, man. And shoot, like when we doing the podcast, and like I already known my dog, I'm gonna tell his name, but you already heard it. Dysheen Davis. I already known them. We used to work together. I know the brother and stuff. And like, we had a little clique, you know what I mean? So I already knew him then. I remember he was telling me he was starting doing like photography and whatnot. I'm like, oh, okay. So it's so crazy because when the same time you said you're gonna do photography, he approached me with doing a podcast. This is going on 4 years ago now.
Wow.
Yeah. So I know. So and I had told Key like hey man, I'm gonna get him on here because he doing some stuff or whatever. So then, like recently, you went to I'm gonna get to the NYC part. Yeah. And that's why I'm like, yeah, we gotta get him. So I'm glad you're flying from your jet. You know what I'm saying? It's the kind of like the corner pocket, man. So everybody, Dysheen Vegas, y'all.
Yes, sir. Anytime.
Thanks for having me. Actually, he does on DCP airline.
Yeah. Right. I get started. Best cognac.
Yeah.
Just like this. Right between the fingers.
I between the fingers.
That's how you hold the glass. Let it warm up.
Silly, man.
So, man, tell us a little bit about you, She. Where are you from, She?
I'm from New York originally. I'm from Queens, New York. Well, Jamaica, Queens, but this pretty much is Queens, New York. But yeah, spent a lot of my young life there and growing up there, and then I moved to North Carolina like a little bit later on, and spent some years down there. But then, you know, after going to school, I made my way up to Ohio, you know, and so that's what I've been, you know, from that point in time. Yeah.
What part of North Carolina were you in?
I was in Statesville, like Harmony, North Carolina. That's about 45 minutes away from Charlotte.
Okay.
And yeah, I ended up graduating from high school down there. And yeah, definitely, I have a lot of family there.
You said Statesville?
Statesville.
So Statesville to me, D sounds like there was a population of maybe like 150. Or one street light, one.
You'd be that's Harmony. You'd be surprised. Statesville it's got like, you know, their graduation class probably about 95, 110. Yeah, it's.
I told you, bro.
Yeah.
I told you, bro.
So,
one cop, one sheriff.
Hey, Jim.
Hi, Charlotte. How you doing?
Hey, Sheedy. Hey, Sheedy.
I equivalent Statesville to kind of Dayton. It's like
Okay.
It's kind of like at the size, you know, got that size there. And, yeah.
Gotcha.
So it's got a little country city feel.
It does. It's like you getting into Pataskala or something.
Okay.
It's kind of crazy. Like you got like Dayton, then you got Pataskala. It's like two different, like, okay, it's different contrasts.
Right.
You know, so that's why I kind of equivalent it to. So, yeah, it was Statesville, a little murder capital there for a minute. Statesville. Like,
Oh, are they murdering cows and chickens, or are they murdering people?
yeah, it's a little combination of both.
Oh my goodness.
People get mad, get stuck behind that tractor.
So they doing drive-bys on horses.
Horses, man. Like,
Here!
oh,
Hey, bro.
take it back to the Western days. All right.
To my North Carolina people, sorry. Love you.
Hey, we Hey, Wilbur.
That's funny, man.
So, Statesville. Go ahead, D, man.
So like when you got your little niche, so like as far as taking pictures or photography, like what initially was like, man, I think that would be tight. Let me take a picture real quick.
You know, I've always been an artist. Even through school, I used to do fine arts. I used to do portraits, hand drawn portraits with charcoal, stencil, all that. I used to do all that. So I didn't get into photography until I got into college. I went to art school in Pittsburgh, and my major was computer animation and multimedia. So, but one of my electives was a photography class, and I didn't take it serious. You know, at the time, we used a film at the time. Everybody's in digital now. I was using film, so I took the picture. I had to do my project. Got an A+ on the project. I told a story. The teacher was like, the professor was like, "You maybe need to look into this." I blew her off. Years later, I get to Columbus, and for my job, I'm a graphic designer, but part of my job is to go to these events too and take pictures of like the county commissioners, there's different people around. At the time, that Mayor Coleman was mayor at the time, so wherever my commissioners went, I was. So I was taking, you know, I went to take pictures. My supervisor at the time, she was like, yeah, your angles are different than what we, you know, actually realize. You know, you maybe need to look into it. So I'm like, you're right. So, but I didn't really still didn't take it too serious at the time.
Right.
But then it just got to the point where I started to love my work more. Every time I would see something, at least one out of the 3 pictures I would love. Where I was doing graphic design, I made 1 out of 200 designs I would do. I'd be like, that's okay.
Really?
So I never really, as an artist, you're never really satisfied with it. You're always gonna find a flaw. because you strive to be that perfectionist. But soon as that happened, I bought my first camera. It was a Evolt 510, Olympus Evolt 510, 8 megapixel digital camera. Came with 2 lenses, a 55, a 15 to 55, and I had a 7200. Started doing landscapes first and photojournalism. I got some pictures with the Columbus Dispatch, Columbus Post. I was also doing their layout at the time too, part-time, but then it just kind of took off from there and just kept building and got to shooting seniors and people and families, and it just my love just grew. I was just I wanted to find every piece of literature on photography, all the principles and everything, and I taught myself a lot of it, but then I went to school afterwards. I got my associates for photography, but even I was pretty much cruising all the way up to the end because I dig that much and taught myself that much how to do until the end. So it was like advanced studio concepts. Then they lost me a bit, and then I got it, and then I just kept writing. So yeah.
As I was saying, he said Mayor Coleman and Columbus Dispatch and things like that. What are some of the other bigger projects that you have put the shooting stamp on that you have that you could think of that was like one of your greatest achievements?
Well, it was pretty much like New York Fashion Week. New York Fashion Week is pretty much a pinnacle of a photographer. You're doing that, and you're getting recognition by other designers and photographers and venues.
So I want to talk more about that, the designer part and New York Fashion. We just gave y'all a little iceberg right there. Y'all gonna have to come back for part 2. And we're going into the New York City Fashion Week, man. He's gonna break that down, man, because I know it's some big names up there. G-Man, hey, part 2 coming, bro.
Hey, Shane, where can somebody get a hold of you at, man?
You can get a hold of me through www.3dmphoto.com. Or you go to my Facebook, which is 3DM Photography, and 3DM Photography, and also Instagram is 3DM_photography. If you want to check out my work, DM me inquiries. That's how you find me.
Hey, how to find us, but we on Twitter, The Corner Pocket, we on Facebook, The Corner Pocket, we on TikTok, The Corner Pocket, IG, _corner_pocket. You like that, man? You know what I'm saying?
Loosen it up, okay.
Right.
Hey, we supposed to be on part 2.
Sweet tea.
I gotta go refill him too.